into the round of 4. This is run 1 of 2 between Wade Turner and Jace Cunning.
You can see clip shoes right there. That's going to help with getting some extra pump, popping up over those lips, getting to those back sides. Clean start out of both riders. Looks like Wade gets a slight advantage coming around this back turn. This is where things get really important. It's a bit downhill. Oh, and then we see Wade Turner, our #1 qualifier, going down in that same turn. We saw Shania Rawson having issues. It is slippery out there. Did you see Jace slide completely around the berm after the track?
Vicious conditions. I mean, this might shape up to be the most eventful pump track race we've ever had on the Crankworx World Tour. Listen to him. I mean, okay, talk about the tires that these riders use for this event.
Yeah, so the tires on there, they're basically slicks. They're not running much traction on there at all, and the amount of PSI they have there, I mean, they're 80 plus PSI right now to get that momentum, and it's just not translating into traction right there. Look at that front end just push. He was already out of the turn in his mind looking at that next obstacle, and his front end just went out on him.
We have bikes optimized for perfect conditions out here without really needing to take into consideration traction. In pump track, you typically have berms for traction. There's never a flat corner in a pump track race, but we also don't usually have berms as slick as ice. And that just really plays into the psyche as well.
And your tires are just moving on every bump. That is gnarly.
We are getting
diabolical conditions out here.
Especially once you know better as well. You know, in the wintertime, if you live in an area of the world where, you know, there's snow, there's ice, you get out of your car, maybe it's a little bit of an angle, the parking lot, and it's ice, you walk very carefully. Now you know these riders are going to be riding very carefully, knowing how slick it is out there. Yo.
Jace, talk to me, Goose. I seen you sliding around that final berm. How was it on track?
It is actually gnarly out there. We were sitting on the start gate and you could just see the first corner getting shinier and shinier. And I was like, I messed up qualifying, so I was against #1, and I was like, if I don't just commit and hold on, I'll never know. So I did that. Luckily, I kept it up when it was sliding around, but unfortunate for Wade, one of my best mates out here, went down, but hopefully he's okay and we'll see him in the next one.
Nice one.
Yeah, man, if you want to get back-to-back wins, you're going to have to get out of this difficult round, and that's one way to do it. Come into the next run with the maximum differential, so best of luck for you out there.
Thank you. Nice chatting to you.
Yeah, that's interesting. Jay's talking about how he made a mistake in his qualifying. I saw earlier in the round of 16, which we've seen a final out of Jackson Frew and Jace Cunning in the round of 16, already having those final caliber head-to-head matchups, but Jace able to survive that first round. It's not over though. They got to go back and do a run on the opposite tracks, and it's anyone's game out here tonight.
Mossman Gorge there. Beautiful look at the scenery out here. Great spot to cruise out for a vacation if you're looking for your next destination. Bring your mountain bikes, enjoy the trails, enjoy the reef, enjoy the rainforest. We're excited to be back here for the 3rd year in a row. Crankworx Cairns. Pump track challenges, I would throw this out there and tell me if you agree or not. It could be the most predictable of our disciplines because the runs are so short and we have so much data to go off of, so many results from prior events with all these big names. But when the course conditions are the way they are right now, it's so much harder to place a bet.
Yeah, looking at some of the practice that they were doing while they're warming up, we see Tohoto, the king, going down, and this is before it started raining. This was just after they pulled the plastic off.
Harry Bush here in practice, and this is where that knowledge was gained. Okay, we're gonna have to try to enter these berms high and have the most ideal lines possible because this is like walking on ice with shoes with no tread.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was talking earlier with Baz Van Steenbergen after that round of 16, just asking him, you know, what's the key to the track for you out here? And he was talking about how the rollers are a little bit more mellow than they're used to. Back in Rotorua, you know, the rollers were quite tight, so you had to be really quick, which is something that comes with pump track because it's such an intense 20 seconds that you're racing. But he said the key is going to be being patient. You kind of have to wait for those backsides a little bit longer than you normally do. And now, we're throwing in the patience and kind of tiptoeing through these slippery conditions, it's going to be really, really tough to know how much to hold back and how much to send it, especially when you have your competitor right next to you.
Well, as we get the course dried up as much as possible using blowers and tiger torches, let's take a look back at some action from earlier today, the speed and style competition, where this man is just carrying that energy. He is dominating this discipline. He was on a quest for making it 3 in a row. This is Lil Rojo, Garrett Meacham in the gold medal matchup.
Yeah, hat trick, 3 in a row it was. Garrett was absolutely perfect, our #1 qualifier throughout the day, and I don't think we saw him lose a heat. Super, super calm and casual right there with that triple combo backflip bar spin to can-can.
So the American takes the gold, 3rd speed and style win in a row for him. Daniel Ferry from Italy giving him a great run for his money. But guess what? As soon as he was done from this podium, he went and grabbed his other bike. He went and warmed up on the whip-off jump, and what did he do there?
Yeah, he got another gold medal. He did the same thing last year, double gold medals in those same 2 events here in Cairns. He is locked in.
I believe it was 3 whip-offs in a row here in Cairns for him on that one as well. Something about that jump really clicks for Garrett Meacham. He's settling into his stride, playing toward his strengths. It's great to see. But a lot up for grabs right now in the pump track race. We've got Tohoto in the game. We got Ryan Gilchrist, who's sitting in 2nd in the overall standings right now. Also the 2nd place qualifier for this pump track race. Unfortunately, Jackson Frew not able to add another medal from pump track. He's taken 3 bronzes already here this year in Cairns, but Jackson Frew getting eliminated in the round of 16. But you see Garrett Meacham climbing the ranks there for the King standings, collecting more points today. He's going to be somebody to look out for the next 2 stops.
Yeah, absolutely. When we get the back half of this World Tour, pedal to the metal, every point up for grabs, they will be sending it.
So we're celebrating not only our 3rd time here in Cairns, but we're celebrating this being the 50th Crankworx Festival over the span of the last 2 decades. And to celebrate, we've collected some of our most memorable moments. Take a look.
Brandon, the local boys, Semifinal.
Bar spin in, truck out.
Here we go.
Combos.
What? The flip, whip, he's landed it. How good it is to be from Whistler at a moment like this.
What does she have for us? An ET.
And there you have it.
There we
It's a
go.
first backflipping competition for the ladies.
Oh,
There you
yes.
have it. History being made.
Let's put it in the books right now. Robin Gooms, the first woman to backflip in Crankworx speed and style competition.
Can he get the win out here today in the running for King of Crankworx?
Yeah, the crowd are on their toes.
Here comes Steve Smith going for the 3-peat. He's pedaling fast over the last kicker. Rubber side down, bouncing across the line. First place, Steve Smith.
Okay, here we go. This is going to be it. Let's get it. Come on,
the
Lemoyne.
speed, the approach.
You got this.
The crowd's going wild. Thomas Lemoyne. Gaps
Yeah!
again. Come on.
Yeah! Oh my God, that was perfect. Look at that.
So
Oh my God, pulsed it all together.
Neil Johansson, we saw him rocket ship back to the podium after trying so hard to battle illness and get back on tour.
360 tail whip in. Come on. And opposite.
Wow! His name is Emil Johansson. We call him the future of the sport. Will this be the year he wins the biggest event? He is now the man to beat.
Well, we just continue to collect the memorable moments out here on the Crankworx World Tour. Caroline Buchanan has been a big part of the story for the past few seasons. Expect to see her not only looking for a win here in pump track, but to take to the slopestyle course tomorrow. It's gonna be a big day tomorrow. We're gonna have the men and the women. First event of the season for the men, and a lot on the line. Some of the top names in the sport not currently having enough points to get invitations to the next 2 stops. So their results from tomorrow are going to kind of pave the way for the rest of the season and play into the big picture. That's going to be tomorrow, 5:00 p.m. West Coast time in the States, 10:00 a.m. local time here in Australia. Check your local time zone, figure out what that calibrates to, because you don't want to miss it. It's going to be great.
Yeah, looking back at some of those highlight moments, it's blowing my mind to see that the first backflip ever pulled by a female at Crankworx was in only 2021. Because now they have their own category in slopestyle, and just a regular flip is nothing. They have elevated their game so fast. Tomorrow is going to be amazing.
And how about the rider who did that first flip in speed and style, Robin Gooms? She was also the one to take the first gold in slopestyle. But we got some young talent on the start list for tomorrow in the women's field. That's going to be great. It's also going to be in the men's field. Nikolai Rogakin's return to competition after the injury he sustained here a year ago. So that's going to be fun, but right now we have a former king of Crankworx in the gate, number 4 qualifier Bas van Steenbergen against Daniel Butterworth, the number 5 qualifier.
Yeah, it looks like Butterworth getting a little bit of an advantage right there. This is where they're actually first run on the track since the rain. So are they tiptoeing? Are they sending it? I don't know, but look at Baz pulling out a little bit of an advantage coming back down towards that final straight.
Just under a quarter of a second there, the advantage belonging to Bas van Steenbergen. It's good to see after all that course prep that the next run to go did not include a crash. I mean, that's a great sign. Hopefully we can keep that rolling. We got Tuhoto Ariki Penny, the reigning king, the current leader in this year's standings. He's the number 3 qualifier going up against Connor Hudson.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Tuhoto with an awesome start right there. His technique is locked in. He's had some of the best starts in pump track that we've seen. Staying smooth, just maybe feeling out the track a little bit. Connor Hudson right there, only 1 bike length behind.
Tuhoto grabbed the silver at stop number 1 of this season in New Zealand, his hometown of Rotorua. Got the advantage rolling into their next round. And oh, all right, this is my pick right now. Watching Ryan Gilchrist, not only his start techniques, which you're about to see, but just his speed in the rollers right now. He's my choice to win if I was a betting man. He's going up against Jaden Fleming.
Yeah, Gilchrist's intensity on the bike is second to none. Look at that start. About half a bike length right off the bat, gets that hole shot by 0.3. Jaden Fleming, though, keeping him honest, pulling right alongside here on the second straight. Coming around, oh, Jaden goes a little bit high right there and loses his momentum. You see that sleeve on Ryan Gilchrist. That is because he is the national champion of Australia in the pump track discipline.
Almost maximum differential, sorry.
Well, Gilly there putting a 1.3 on Jaden Fleming.
He's the Australian champion in the pump track.
And clocking the fastest time of the day there for Ryan Gilchrist.
That's pretty impressive with the rain just stopping for him to come out and just pull the fastest lap of the day. That is super impressive. I think your pick might be on point there.
I'm feeling it. You want to put something on it? Maybe a beer?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, for a beer. I got Gilly. Who you got?
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna pick a dark horse. I think Baz is coming back. I think he's had a little bit of a rough start. I think he's gonna send it.
Well, this is fun. I like this game. Well, let's take a look at our GoPro course preview here for Crankworx Cairns Pump Track Challenge.
Gate snaps, we're out and running, and we're gonna follow Shania down this right-hand course. Crankworx has put on a show for us with this beautiful red dirt. Big step up, step down into these massive bowled out corners. Big double there, and we're right towards the finish line here. Give it everything you got, and then bam, finished. Woohoo!
Well, last year, right here on this course, our number 1 qualifier today had the top 5 fastest times. It's pretty safe to say she kind of owns this track here on home turf.
Yeah, I think we're doing a poll on the live chat. How many Crankworx pump tracks do you think Caroline has won? That's what we want to know. Tell us your answer in the chat, and I want to know what you think. How many do you think she's won?
How many pump track challenges Caroline has won?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 16.
It's close. I know the
Really?
answer.
You know
I know
the
the answer, but I'm not going to say. We're going to let the people out there. You're wrong.
Okay.
It's not that number.
But I'm in the ballpark?
You're in the ballpark.
I'll take it. All right, Cassie Boise, she's rocking 50 PSI in those Maxxis tires right now, which is great any day of the week on a pump track. But man, is it treacherous on a wet one.
Only a .021 difference right here. Turkovic pulling right alongside. Cassie Boise is keeping it close. They are side by side, neck and neck over the last obstacle.
Oh, that's gonna be close.
A little bit of a hiccup there from Turkovic.
Cassie Boise will roll into the next bracket. She'll join up against Caroline Buchanan. And she will undoubtedly have her work cut out for her. All right, next one. In the gate, Martha Gill, the current leader in the standings for Queen of Crankworx, going up against Jordy Scott, who already has 2 golds. She's sitting in third in the Queen of Crankworx. She's looking to add some more.
Yeah, Jordy Scott really coming into play right here. Top form today. Let's see if she can bump out Martha Gill, arguably her biggest competition for the Queen rankings. Both riders safe around that turn where we saw some riders going down a little bit earlier. It seems like that torch and air blower has dried that turn out, so it's going to be full send from here on out.
Well, Jordy safely cruising through the finish line, taking that hefty advantage from run number 1. Able to relax on that final straightaway. She will advance to the round of 4. Ooh, this could be fun here. I'm just kind of predicting the future a little bit. Who will join Jordy Scott in the round of 4? Will it be Shania Rawson? She's gonna have an uphill battle finding her way there. We caught up with Shania Rawson earlier. We asked her how she attacks pump track.
Yeah, my strategy for pump track this year, I've definitely tried to focus on my gate starts in the off season, so as long as I can stay consistent with those, then yeah, it should be a good race.
You're gonna need a really good gate start right now, because if I remember correctly, she's got a 1.5 disadvantage coming to this matchup. She's sitting second in the Queen standings. If she can make it through this one, she'll be going up against the rider who's sitting in third. A 1.5 is gonna be tough. Riley Keatley just need to be smooth here.
Yeah, Shania Rawson's got a big wall to climb, but she does what she needs to do out of the gate. Gets that hole shot with a 1.8. She's stretching that lead out. 1.5 is a massive disadvantage coming into pump track, but man, it is gonna be close. Let's see what she can do here.
Wow! Shania Rawson with a big lead. Will it be enough? Will it be more than 1.5? It is! Shania Rawson does it. She will go up against Jordy Scott in the round of 4.
Dang, that is unbelievable to see Shania Rawson lay down enough to come back with that 1.5. She is in the zone right now.
Okay, so maximum differential, meaning no matter how far behind you are in run number 1, that is all you will have to make up in run number 2. Max diff is 1.5. It's the same max diff we use for, say, dual slalom. Dual slalom courses are way longer. It's so rare that you actually see a rider make up a 1.5 in their second run in pump track. Shania Rawson does it. She'll be going up against Jordy Scott. Wow, love to see it right here. We could potentially have big shakeups to our Queen of Crankworx overall standings. But heat number 1 is gonna be a doozy as well. Caroline Buchanan, number 1 qualifier, going up against Cassie Boise. I want to swim there.
That is a testament to Shania Rawson's mental game. It is so hard to keep yourself in the game when you get a 1.5 disadvantage. Everybody knows anything can happen, and right there she did it fair and square and did what she needed to do.
Oh my goodness. We mentioned earlier that Jace Cunning, we talked to him moments ago. He is a defending champion here in Cairns for pump track. He had the 4 fastest times last year. Gilly had the 5th fastest time. We're seeing them both in our competition today. And look at who we have in the gate. Jace Cunning against your number 1 qualifier, Wade Turner. Wade Turner with that 1.5 to make up. Can he do what Shania just did and make it up? Jace Cunning.
This is when things get really tricky. You want to not override and make a mistake, knowing you have that 1.5 advantage, but you can't let up, especially not with the number 1 qualifier, Wade Turner, on course. Oh, he's showboating a little bit now. He's giving us a show. Look at that.
Jace just needed a smooth run. He did exactly that. Wade, knowing his day is done, Giving the crowd some there with a tuck no hander on the final shark fin.
Oh, I see Roam the Surface out there on the chat, questioning whether or not this is a video game or real life. I'll tell you, my man, this is real life. These riders are absolutely this skilled, able to manage the weather, the conditions. It's all happening out here.
We never really know for sure, though. Let's be real.
I feel like it's real. I can smell them when they ride by.
Ooh, yeah, I can smell Bass Van Steenbergen loaded up into the gate. I'm still trying to decide if I like it or not. I like his new goggles. Bass Van Steenbergen launched a goggle company, Random Eyewear. Here we go. Can he make up 2.4 under Daniel Butterworth?
Both riders stand really clean. This is where we've seen people coming together. Looks like Baz is going to do what's needed right there.
Bass, smooth through the finish line, using that time advantage and advancing into the next round. He'll be going up against Jace Cunning.
Yeah, you can see it. Baz is riding a little bit different today. You can see some of that patience that he was talking about earlier. Definitely paying off there.
Yes. Penne and Hudson. Advantage belonging to Penne.
Random start. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
Tohoto with another amazing hole shot right there. His starts are on lock tonight. Connor Hudson going to do everything he can right here. He's up against the ropes, but it's not over yet. Anything can happen. Pulling right alongside.
Did you see that? It was almost as if Tohoto caught Connor in his peripheral and just turned it up a notch.
Yeah, the skill of these riders, the level of competition here is through the roof.
Who did you take in our bet again?
I took Baz.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Yeah, good call. Here's my guy right here, Ryan Gilchrist, going up against Jaden Fleming. Advantage belonging to Gilchrist. It's a 1.3.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
Both riders side by side. Looks like Gilchrist gets that hole shot. Not by much though. Jaden Fleming gonna push as hard as he can through here. Gilchrist just too clean. Look at how smooth he is there, coming back down to the finish line.
I'm feeling good about my pick. So Gilchrist will go up against Tohoto Ariki Penny. That'll be fun. We see such a mutual respect between those two riders. They end up side by side in the gate quite often this season. Now let's savor the precision of Gilly right here with a slow-mo replay. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, that's the coolest thing about Crankworx in my mind, is it brings these riders from different aspects of racing. Tohoto, more known as a top rider on the World Cup downhill circuit, and Gilchrist is leading the point series in the EWRE. That's the E-Enduro World Cup series. And you bring them out here, and it levels that playing field out, and they get to put all their skills out on all these different types of disciplines to find out who is the best overall bike rider. Such a cool event.
Gilchrist took the gold in slalom 2 nights ago. He's now going to be going up against Tohoto Ariki Penny. I'm really looking forward to that one, and I'll tell you why. There's only 30 points separating them in the King standings. But then we'll have your guy, Bass Van Steenbergen. We got a nice little friendly side bet going on here between Alan and I. But Jace Cunning, the defending champion from last season, we heard it right from the horse's mouth. He had issues in qualifying, which resulted in a 9th place seeding, but he's able to carry that into the round of 4. Now for the women, Caroline Buchanan, the #1 qualifier, will go up against Cassie Boise, and then it's going to be Jordy Scott and Shania Rawson, who are sitting 2 and 3 in the Queen standings. A whole lot to play for out here as we take a look at our next heat loaded up into the gate. It's going to be Caroline Buchanan and Cassie Boise.
Okay, riders, random start.
Cassie going with full suspension in the pump track.
Ready, watch the
Yeah,
gate.
maybe not her bike of choice, but there's only so many bikes you can travel with. She's riding all the disciplines, so using what she can and definitely keeping Caroline honest. Less than a bike length there. Caroline coming down. It's a little bit of an uphill out of that first turn, so that exit of that first turn is unbelievably important. That is going to be the thing that sets you up with momentum all the way down to the finish line here. And it looks like Caroline getting a 0.3 advantage on this first heat.
Caroline strong in that final straightaway. It was neck and neck in that last berm, and she really turned up the heat in the final straightaway. Let's take a look back.
Yeah, almost dead even on the start. And right there, you see how Caroline just loads up all of that momentum and pressure in her legs and arms down that roll-in and explodes it into that first transition. If you miss that pump on the first transition, your day is going to be over really, really quick.
Caroline with the fastest time of the day right now. I believe the 2 fastest times of the day for the women's field. Yeah, that is a well-earned number plate right there. The Queen of Crankworx plate after a hard-earned 2023 season.
Random start.
But right now, Jordy Scott and Shania Rawson sit neck and neck in the Queen standings now, battling it out side by side.
Looks like Shania Rawson got the whole shot, but Jordy was really strong on that first transition, was able to squeak out a little bit of a lead. Let's see how they come around out of this final turn down the back straight. Jordy with an advantage here. She was able to overcome that whole shot time and bring it across with a 0.68.
Oh man, let's talk about numbers. Jordy Scott leading Shania Rawson after run number 1 of this heat by 0.6, but trailing Shania Rawson by only 4 points in the Queen standings.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was that whole shot. Shania Rawson was absolutely perfect on her timing and had about half a bike length at the bottom of that first transition, but Jordy just too strong and her timing too on point for Shania Rawson tonight.
Well, where does Shania have to make it up? Because she has the fastest start in the women's field. Where's she losing time?
It's all about that first transition. I think that's where the race is going to be won or lost, although we've seen anything can happen out here tonight, especially with the conditions we're dealing with.
Okay, back to the men now.
Here's my guy, here's my guy.
Bass, man, never a guy to count out of any discipline here on the Crankworx World Tour. A former king, going up against Jace Cunning, the defending champ here.
Look at that whole shot right there out of Baz van Steenbergen. Jace Cunning starting to gain a little bit of momentum on him, coming down into that first turn. They're coming out of the final one. Looks like Baz has a slight advantage, but then here comes Jace.
Oh.
What is it gonna be?
Oh, it's gonna be so close.
Oh, did you see how much speed Baz came into the final turn?
That was a bad lap.
0.011, nearly nothing in it.
That'll be a drag race once we get them back to the start and switch sides.
Oh, so many. I jumped off the last roller into the turn. Oh.
Yeah.
The gate was the worst thing I've ever done. It was like year one. Year one, yeah. Black on me.
Well, let's look back at that mistake Bass was talking about. It was in that final berm. So not this one, but the next one.
Yeah, I think the moment he was talking about, there was something weird that happened coming into the finish line. Let's watch him come over this little shark fin. And he missed his pump just a little bit and launched off that final one into the berm. He basically cut his braking zone in half by flying off the final obstacle across the finish line.
A hundredth of a second separating these two. That'll be a good one. Get them back up to the top, switch sides. Right now, it's all about these two. Ryan Gilchrist, the number 2 qualifier. Tuhoto Ariki Penny, the number 3 qualifier. And they're sitting back to back, 30 points separating them in the King standings.
I haven't seen the times yet, but Tuhoto's starts have been on point tonight. Let's see if he can pull a whole shot on Gilchrist. Reaction time absolutely perfect for both riders. Tuhoto does get a slight advantage on that whole shot. Let's see if he can bring that home around this final turn. Gilchrist on the gas right now.
Oh,
little bit of a hiccup with Gilchrist on that front tire, but too fast, too strong for Tuhoto.
Gilchrist leading this one out by 0.4 of a second.
Stress me out.
You know what's crazy? Watch this replay. Gilly is overshooting things because he's going so fast in the rhythms that it's almost hard to squash it enough to connect to the transition. Watching the final straightaway.
Yeah, Gilchrist, his riding style is almost made for pump track. He's so intense every time he is on the bike. It doesn't matter which bike he's riding, what discipline he's competing in. The intensity is through the roof, and that's what you have to have on the pump track. High intensity, start to finish. It's short, but you gotta figure out a way to put all your energy into a 16-second run.
Look at the body English there. Doing whatever it takes to place those tires down into the greatest source of speed on those transitions. To the masters in this discipline right there.
It's a pleasure.
Shoulder to shoulder.
You know, Gilchrist, Yeti's dirt jump bike is a carbon bike, and I'm wondering if that stiffness is helping him in these transitions and around these berms and really loading that frame up and getting a little bit of extra pump.
Just no loss of speed.
Random start.
All right, Caroline Buchanan leads this one over Cassie Boise by 0.3.
Caroline getting the start. This is what she needs to do. She needs to keep Cassie just in her peripheral. She doesn't need to beat her. She's got that 0.3 advantage, but she needs to stay honest and keep her right in her sights. She cannot let her get away. Exactly what she's doing right now.
What started off so great.
She will do it. Caroline Buchanan, the #1 qualifier, advances into the gold medal matchup.
So smart of Caroline out here, just, you know, coming in, doing an event, something she's got a lot of confidence in. She's gonna wake up tomorrow knowing she's already had success going into Slopestyle. Just that little extra swagger that you get from having a good event the night before could carry a lot of momentum into the Slopestyle event tomorrow.
Caroline, the reigning queen, we just had an opportunity to rewatch a replay of your run right there. I know you're focusing a lot on slopestyle this year, and you're deciding to just pick 2 events at each stop in order to, you know, maximize practice time. You feeling pretty good about your decision right now to choose pump track?
Yeah, it's quite a lot when you go for the overall. You're definitely able to do all the events, but I think with slopestyle, such high risk, such high reward. There's like 11 features on the course, so you're not only learning each feature, you're learning to trick each feature, you're dealing with the elements. Had a crash this morning and you just gotta wipe it off and recover. So pretty hyped for all the girls dropping into slopestyle tomorrow. I hope everyone comes out and like cheers us on.
So good. Speaking about dealing with the elements, how slick are those berms out there?
Honestly, they're really good right now. My max is pace. I've gone for a knobby, so yeah, paces are feeling good.
Confidence inside that helmet. Way to go, Caroline. Best of luck out there. She's like, what do you mean slippery? Maybe for other people it's not slippery. For me, I'm good.
Yeah, this dirt is really, really crazy. When it has this like fine razor edge when it's slippery, and then it'll turn to the best traction you've ever had.
Did you see her tires? She's got knobbier treads than some of the riders out there. She's playing her cards right. A lot of strategy when you've been doing it as long as Caroline Buchanan, but right now, it's all by Jordy Scott leading Shania Rawson by 0.6.
So Jordy Scott able to get the whole shot on Shania Rawson right there. That's where Shania has been so strong tonight. Let's see, does anybody have a gap? Shania with a slight advantage coming over the last features, but Jordy was able to stay on the ground and get a final pump where Shania actually jumped into that final feature.
Whoa, big news here. Jordy Scott advancing into the gold medal matchup. She'll go up against Caroline Buchanan. Send Shania Rawson to the bronze medal heat. Oh, man. Oh, the queen tabulations are going to shake up today. Jordy, 4 points behind Shania, knocking Shania into the bronze medal matchup. Big opportunity there for Jordy.
Yeah, huge opportunity out here tonight in Cairns for Jordy. And she's been riding so good this whole week. Just really calm, not really making a fuss about it, not really making any noise when she walks across the finish line with a gold medal. But man, she is on point out here in Cairns.
She's chilling.
Yeah. you know, you feel good, you ride good. That's kind of how it works. And you can tell she's having a lot of fun out here.
I feel like you're feeling pretty good if you chose that front tire as well. Did you see that?
I didn't see it. She got a knobby on there as well.
Caroline's got some knobbies. Jordy's got some knobbies. And it has taken both of them into the gold medal matchup. A look at where we stand right now. Bronze medal will be fought over between Cassie Boise and Shania Rawson. And either Caroline Buchanan will do it again, grab another pump track gold here in Cairns, or Jordy Scott will get a third gold this week. And for the men, what do we got, Alan?
We got Cunning and Steenberg in .011 between them, almost nothing. Winner will take all, most likely, in that one. And then we got Tohoto with .5 behind your man, Gilchrist. We'll see how it's all gonna match up. Who's going to the gold medal round and who's going to the bronze.
If Bass can make it up, our two picks are gonna be facing off for the #1 spot. Bass got a little bit of work to do here. He's got to make up 100th of a second.
Okay, riders.
The defending champion, Jace Cunning.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Both riders out. Looks like Baz gets a slight hole shot there. Jace pushing. You see him. He knows he's behind. He's going to give it everything he's got. Baz not holding back for anything right now. He's coming in. It's super tight. It's about half a bike length. It's going to come down to the final feature.
Not going to happen for Baz. Buy me that beer, Alan. Jace Cunning secures himself a spot into the final matchup, the gold medal round.
Very good riding. Yeah, thank you. Oh, I can't believe it. Dude, I got stuck in your run again. In the, which one? Start hill. Oh yeah, that one's like unavoidable. Oh, we got more rain.
You hear Jace talking about the rut in the starting line. Apparently there's a rut right there in that transition where we were talking about earlier, how that is the most important part. You saw that little bit of shadow in that first transition. That is a rut that Jace was saying he got stuck in. But he was able to overcome that disadvantage. Right here, you heard him talking about making a lot of mistakes. I think that's just the intensity that he has trying to make up that little differential.
Isn't that crazy, right? You watch this run in slow motion and you'd be hard pressed to identify a mistake, yet in his mind, knowing how much precision is necessary to advance out of this heat, he felt like he had some mistakes. Okay, sign me up for watching this one. I am not going to miss 1 millisecond of this. Ryan Gilchrist staring down the barrel of this heat against Tohoto Ariki Penny.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Gilchrist with a .4 advantage. Tohoto's got to make it happen from behind.
Tohoto rockets out of the start, almost a full bike length lead. That is going to have Gilchrist absolutely sending it on this run. He knows he's behind, comes out of that final turn. These riders are side by side. Gilchrist about half a bike length. Tohoto pushing to the finish.
Gilly does it, holds him at arm's length, and secures himself a spot in the final round. Tohoto will be battling Bass for a bronze medal.
Man, it's so rare to see someone make up a bike length or half a bike length, but Gilly is just on point today. Look at where his tires are getting in these transitions. There he's manuals right there. He's putting all of the weight and all of the momentum and pressure into that rear tire. Little tap manual there. You see him coming over that last feature with the elbows fully bent. He's getting his weight forward so he can generate the most momentum possible coming into the finish line. It's almost even right there, and we see pushing down on that last jump, able to squeeze out Tohoto.
Gilly, congratulations making it into the gold medal matchup out here for the second year in a row. You also took the gold at stop #1 this season. This one's got to be a little bit harder than Rotorua, right? We've got some really slick berms out there.
Yeah, look, I'm just kind of leaning on my mountain biking background. Raced cross country, enduro, downhill, raced downhill up on the routes, and I can guarantee that's 100% gnarlier. So we're out here on a perfectly manicured track by the incredible trail crew, and stoked to be in the final. Always great racing against Tohoto. Absolute weapon, just absolutely smoked me out of the gate there.
Yeah, talk us through this run. How did you make up that time?
I'm really just focusing on execution here. Like whether the gate's perfect or not doesn't really matter. I like just focus on my next mark, and that's the first corner, second corner, last straight. Just make it all happen, point to point, and execute, execute, execute.
I don't want to put any undue pressure on you, but we got a little side bet right here. I got my money on you, so do me well. Alan's gonna owe me a beer if you take the win. So I'm rooting for you. I'm pulling for you there, Gilly.
Cheers, Cam. Appreciate it. Looking forward to the final.
Get back out there, man. Best of luck.
This is that moment that made the difference. Watch his elbows right here. He loads up that body and able to get all of his weight and momentum on the backside of that final jump, and was just enough to edge out Tohoto Enrique Pena.
Well, you got to give it to Jace Cunning, making it into that gold medal matchup. He's the defending champion. He had an issue in seeding, but he's going to have his work cut out from against Ryan Gilchrist. Bas van Steenbergen and Tohoto Enrique Pena will battle it out for the bronze. And Gilly really doing what he needs to do to get up into that top spot on the King standings. Well, the stage is set right now. Bronze and gold medal matchups for the women and the men set. All we got to do is sit back and enjoy the action. Taking a look at our next round right now. This is going to be the bronze medal matchup for the women. Cassie Boise and Shania Rawson.
Watch Shania Rawson start. She has had so many amazing starts all night tonight.
Ready, watch the gate.
There it is again. She's got her timing and her technique locked in. Gets that whole shot about half a bike length ahead of Cassie, but Cassie is going to push on this downhill section right out of this turn. This is going to be the last chance to get your momentum and get it across the line, but Shania just too strong.
Shania Rawson with the advantage here, 0.35 ahead of Cassie Boise.
There's that start. We see her throwing that momentum forward and hopping in, getting that gravity to help her build that momentum up on that first transition. Looking so smooth around this track. Remember earlier, she had that big slam after it started raining, was able to make up for it. So for her to be in contention to possibly get a bronze medal is quite the feat.
Yeah, making up a 1.5 in pump track does not happen very often. So if she's able to grab that bronze medal, she will have earned every ounce of it. Here we go, bronze medal matchup for the men. Run number one, Bas van Steenbergen and Tohoto Enrique Pena.
Random start. Tohoto Enrique Pena. Riders ready, watch the gate.
We've seen these riders go head-to-head so many times over the years. This is going to be exciting like every other time. Baz pushing really, really hard, but Tohoto, oh, and Tohoto goes down. Tohoto down out of that turn, wash the front end. So Baz is going to get that
5 mil on aisle 12.
Baz is going to take that 1.5 into the next round.
Scrap that 5 mil on aisle 12. Oh, let's take a look at how it happened. Look at that, eyes up. Everything's good until it's not.
Yeah, just lost traction on that front end.
We saw footage of when that happened to him earlier as well in training. I love the confident mindset that all these riders have that we've been able to talk to here on the microphone in the booth. Whenever I talk about the slippery berms, they all say, no, I don't think so. I don't think they're slippery. I love it. I love it. It's the mindset of champions out there.
That's how it can work, though, in competition, right? Your energy's going to go where your mind flows. And if you put too much attention on the negatives, it's going to come up and bite you.
One of those riders who said they're loving their front tire selection is the rider we have on the screen right now. Caroline Buchanan, no stranger to winning Cairns pump track. And Jordy Scott has already got 2 gold medals this week. This will be a good one. The gold medal matchup for the women.
Jordy already getting 2 gold medals out here. You can't call her the dark horse, but she is our 3rd place qualifier, so she's got a little mountain to climb right here. Look at these riders absolutely side by side down the start straight. coming around the second turn. Let's see who's gonna have the momentum down to the finish line. Maybe Jordy has a slight advantage right here, but Caroline comes out of the turn, and Jordy comes back.
That could be our closest one today. Look at that, 0.003 of a second. Jordy Scott with the advantage. Wow. Oh, she's on fire.
I don't think I've ever seen two riders swap the lead that many times in one pump track lap. That was so exciting.
30 seconds of insane action.
Caroline had a slight advantage on the whole shot, but then Jordy pulled some magic out of her hat down the straight and got a little bit of extra time. Had a slight advantage right here coming out of the turn, and then Caroline actually passed her over this jump, and then I don't know where Jordy got the momentum, but on the last two obstacles, she was able to squeeze out that 3,000th of a second ahead. Look at right there, right there.
Oh, that's so cool. That's racing. Race fans, we love it. Jordy Scott with the advantage, but it's small. It's 0.003 of a second. Oh, it's gonna be a good one. Back to the men here, run number 1 of your gold medal matchup. It's going to be Ryan Gilchrist against Jace Cunning. Jace Cunning, the defending champion out here. And Ryan Gilchrist in the race for King of Crankworx.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Ryan Gilchrist's average finish since 2021 is second. Let's see what he can do. He gets the whole shot right there, but then Jace squirts out in front of him. You saw going into that first turn. These riders are really, really neck and tight. I can't call it right now. Jace gets a little bit of extra momentum.
Oh, what do we got? 0.45 of a second. Gilchrist with the advantage.
Gilchrist has honed in on a move on the final.
We'll work on that next lap.
On that final feature where he's able to stay a lot lower than the other riders coming into the finish line, as he's totally scooping up all of his weight and his momentum and able to just explode it on that final feature and get a small advantage coming into the next round.
Alan, I think you're onto something here. The idea of a carbon frame having less flex, and when you're at this level where everything matters, he's losing absolutely no speed in the G-outs of those berms. Flawless. He may not have had the fastest seating time, but he's got the 4 fastest times of the day.
Watch the elbows of Gilchrist. You see how he comes over and the bars are in his chest and his elbows are over 90 degrees? His whole body is loaded up and ready to catch backside and just boost across the finish line, and he is doing it to perfection tonight.
It's good to ride with you again.
It's been too long, eh?
Yeah.
Old mates right there.
As if they're just riding together. Oh yeah, it's good to ride with you today. 30 seconds at a time at a very high intensity, just out for a ride. Here we go. The final run here to determine who takes home the bronze medal for the women. Cassie Voicey, Shania Rawson, the advantage belonging to Rawson of 0.35.
Side by side, barely a whole shot there for Shania Rawson. A little bit inside there going into that turn. I think she lost quite a bit of momentum, and that's gonna carry all the way through. Can Cassie Voicey make up that difference? But no, Shania Rawson able to regain that momentum and bring it across the finish line. She got a little bit squirrely going into that first turn and was about 2 feet low on her line.
Wow, Shania Rawson earned this bronze medal. She came back from a 1.5 second maximum differential, and she even wasn't handed the bronze medal in this run. As you mentioned, a mistake, and she fought from behind on that final straightaway.
Yeah, time can be made up on this track, which is very, very impressive. As we talked about it, 16 to 20 second runs, not a lot to do, but Shania making it happen, getting that bronze medal. And right here, this is where she needed to turn it on. Doing exactly what she needed to do, bringing it all the way across the line.
Shania, congratulations on securing the bronze medal. I want to talk to you about how much you earned this one. You came back from a 1.5 second differential. What was going on inside your helmet while you're sitting up there knowing you needed a flawless run in that preliminary round?
Yeah, well, that was a great start to the first round. I mean, I knew I had to come out with something to stay smooth, consistent the whole way, and get the job done.
There was actually a little bit of back and forth there we saw. It looked like you had the start, and going into that first turn, it looked like you got a little squirrely and were a little low, but somehow, and tell us, how did you do it, make up that time before you got to the finish?
Yeah, I know I'm pretty strong on the start. That's what I've been focusing on the most in off season, so I tried to stay consistent. I was a bit scared around the corners, I must admit, that the tire pressure's down a bit, but yeah, I held it on, dropped the shoulder, and hope for the best.
Congrats, Shania. Enjoy the celebrations tonight. Way to go.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, so you hear a little bit of setup change. You know, as that rain came down, we saw some people crash. We saw Caroline talking about how she had those knobbies, but Shania changing tire pressure, just searching for that extra traction.
Isn't that crazy how much of an impact that can have? Just a quick little tss on that Presta valve can make all the difference in cornering speed in slippery conditions like we have out here tonight. These riders are absolute gladiators, duking it out right now. A bronze medal on the line between Tuhoto Ariki-Penny and Bas van Steenbergen. Tuhoto's got his work cut out for him. After that crash, he's gonna have to make up 1.5. Let's see if Bas can keep it smooth.
I'll tell you one thing that's not gonna happen is Tuhoto has not given up. He's gonna put everything he has into this run right here. 1.5 is a big wall to climb, but don't count Tuhoto, the king, out. Bas just too strong.
Tuhoto knows it.
So my guy got a bronze medal. Do I get a sip of your beer that I buy you?
I'll give you a sip.
All right, I'll take it.
Wow, there you go. Congratulations goes out to Bas van Steenbergen. Grabbing the bronze medal out here today. The former king at Crankworx, putting it to the reigning and leading king, Tuhoto. Way to go, Bas.
Yeah, Tuhoto had about a full bike length going into this turn right here. Trying to see what happens coming into the second turn. Tuhoto got a little high, maybe being a little bit hesitant after what happened in that last run. Nobody would blame him. So much camaraderie between these riders out here, having a blast in front of the Cairns crowd.
Bas, way to go. You grabbed the bronze medal. It's got to be the goggles, right?
Yeah, it's for sure the goggles. I was able to see way better than anybody else out there. No, it was tight racing, and unfortunate to see Tuhoto go down. But yeah, man, it was gnarly out there.
Man, well done. I feel like we didn't see you on the podium in pump track here last year, so it's got to feel good to get up there right now.
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't really expecting it, to be honest. I was actually pretty happy with how close I was to Jace, even though I lost. Yeah, pretty stoked.
Who do you got for the finals, man? We get a gold medal matchup to watch right now.
I feel like I'm going to piss off half the crowd regardless of what I say, but I'm going to have to go with my roommate, Jace Cunning.
All right.
We'll see.
It's going to be good to watch.
It'll be gnarly.
Your work tonight is done, and a great job you did. Congratulations on the bronze medal. Go get a nice seat.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, nice job, Bas.
All right, so Bas's money is on Jace Cunning, but we have a gold medal matchup for the women before we get to that Jace Cunning, Ryan Gilchrist matchup. This is going to be Jordy Scott, who has the advantage going up against the #1 qualifier, Caroline Buchanan. This is how we find ourselves where we are now.
Yeah, one of the most exciting races of the night. Dead even off the start. It looked like Jordy Scott had a slight advantage at this point right here, but Caroline does something coming into this final turn and was able to squeak just slightly in front of her, and then something right there Jordy was able to do to squeeze out and just get in front of Caroline Buchanan, which is the first time she has been at a disadvantage since this pump track has started.
Can Jordy Scott do it? She has 2 gold medals already from Crankworx Cairns 2024. Can she knock out the #1 qualifier, Caroline Buchanan? Here we go. Jordy Scott with 0.03 of a second of an advantage.
Perfect starts for both riders right here. Clean first race. Jordy with maybe half a wheel on Caroline, but this is where Caroline turns it on right here coming out of this turn. Let's see where they come and they match up. I can't call it right here. Maybe Jordy's got just a little bit of an advantage, but Caroline coming in.
Jordy looking strong through the finish line. Did she do it?
Too close to call from my perspective.
That was sick. That was like a photo finish for sure.
Absolutely a photo finish. Even the riders don't know who crossed the finish line first.
Tough to tell from that head-on view. We will wait to see the times come up on screen. So let's take a look back at this run.
Again, these riders, they're like, you know, each rider has a little bit of a spot on this track where they're a little bit faster than each other, and they're not the same spots. So the racing is going back and forth throughout the entire race.
I think Jordy's got it. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. It's too hard to tell. I mean, this start right here out of both riders. Jordy with a slight advantage. Man, it's too hard to tell. I think, you know, whoever won this round is going to be the overall winner because that 3,000th is nothing. That's half a blink of the eye.
I dare you to blink your eye in 3,000ths of a second.
I dare you to count 3,000ths of a second while I blink. That straight right there coming down the second straight, it's a little bit uphill.
I'm in a betting mood. I mean, we're already betting. I say Jordy's got it. What do you say?
I mean, she did have the advantage, and I can't tell who won this one, so I'm gonna not compete.
Oh, here we go. This camera angle is gonna help us out.
You.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. From that angle, it looks like. Oh.
Here we go. Caroline.
Oh.
Jordy, Caroline, and it looks like Jordy by just a smidge.
Oh my.
Yeah, Caroline had the momentum. She was definitely gaining on that deficit that she had coming into the finish line. But Jordy able to stay just too strong. Also repping those random goggles. Baz Van Steenberg's goggle brand. We got a lot of riders out here wearing them.
I don't know.
We got Reese out there joining the conversation from home, enjoying the show. I agree. What a run.
We are still giving the race to our...
We got a long drum roll going here, trying to figure out who's going to grab the gold.
Another full run replay. These riders just pushing each other from beginning to end, passing each other 3 or 4 times throughout the lap, which is unbelievable. Only a 20-second lap for these riders. Oh, did you see that? Caroline, a little bit of a front end slide coming out of that final turn. It doesn't take much. That could have been the difference. There was just a little slight wiggle coming out of the final turn. Jordy was absolutely perfect at possibly making the difference.
I mean, that's all but official right there.
Officially first across the line, but let's see what this advantage is going to be.
There we go. There's the official word. Jordy Scott grabs the gold medal in the Crankworx Cairns Pump Track Challenge. Her 3rd gold medal in the past couple days.
Yeah.
Hey-oh! Oh my goodness. You had us on our toes, Jordy.
Me too.
Hat trick.
What are you doing? 3 gold medals out here in Cairns. What's up?
Man, I'm pretty stoked. It was nice to do some head-to-head racing tonight. I'm super happy we actually got to race. These last few days have been so crazy, having no idea what was going to happen. So a little crazy out there for speed and style. Bit of an odd one, but glad we could fight this one out.
So good. You've
Jordy,
been unshakable.
oh, sorry. Jordy, I got to ask you, those were some of the most competitive runs we've seen out here all night. Did you know that you and Caroline were passing each other 3 and 4 times each lap?
Had no idea. Just trying to do my own race and hope for the best. If I think too much, bad things happen.
Well, it totally worked out tonight.
Good things have been happening to you all week out here. I got to ask, what do you think about doing pump track with this crowd under the lights here in Cairns? How about this energy?
So awesome. I love it here in Australia, and under the lights made it even better. So hopefully we can have more races like this.
Thank you, Jordy Scott. Thank you, Cairns. Let's hear it for her. Way to go. What a race. Race fans out there, I hope you enjoyed that. Jordy Scott taking the gold, Caroline Buchanan grabbing the silver, and Shania Rawson taking home a bronze. The 3, we got a couple big names in our Queen of Crankworx overall standings. We're gonna update you with the updated standings here shortly, but a look back at the gold medal matchup from the men.
Yeah, these riders were unbelievably competitive throughout. Gilchrist able to keep the momentum going. But Jace coming through the hard way, having a lot of big races. Sometimes that can carry that momentum all the way through. And they're loaded up back in the starting hill. This is it. This is for all the gold here in pump track.
So we just saw run number 1, and it all comes down to this. Gilchrist versus Cunning, a gold medal on the line. Cunning, the defending champion.
Okay, riders, random start.
The advantage belonging to Ryan Gilchrist of just 45/100ths of a second. Here we go.
Both riders with a perfect start, side by side, going up the first straightaway. Looking really clean so far for both riders. I've seen no mistakes. Maybe Jay's getting a little behind on his timing right there, and that's gonna be enough.
Oh,
Gilchrist.
It's gonna be Gilly.
0.091, a combined differential of 0.136. That is nothing.
Ryan Gilchrist does it. Take a look at that. The guy who started off this season with a gold medal in pump track backs it up here with a second one in Cairns. Whoa, that's right.
You'd love to hear that growl. You know how much this means to him. You see that national champs jersey. We're in his home country. There's no way he was going to want to lose here tonight. Holding up that bike, that might be the difference.
Let's ask him, what the heck, huh?
Just brushing off that shoulder a little bit, keeping that flag clean. Just keeping, he had a little bit of an advantage, I think, coming off that first feature, and he was able to maintain that entire time. Watch this start side by side out of both riders. Nothing in it in the first 5 obstacles. Side by side going into the turn. Here comes Jace into the finish. But Gilchrist just too fast tonight.
Undefeated so far this season in pump track. Congratulations on grabbing another gold. We're watching you ride this bike in just absolute precision, flawless out there. Alan has a theory, carbon fiber and pump track. Your thoughts?
Well, I got carbon frame, carbon bars, and carbon wheels. It's no secret yet. He's put a lot of work into this special project's dirt jumper. We can legally say this is the fastest dirt jump bike in the world, proven at Velo Solutions Pump Track World. So I'm definitely put on the best bike by the best team with the best support out there. That includes all the amazing people in my corner.
Nice one. Well, we've been seeing you rack up the results all week. I'm looking at number 2 on the number plate. What are you thinking about King? We're about halfway through the season for you. What are you thinking for the rest?
Look, it's a tight battle. And it's anything but a 2-horse race. Hoto's obviously the man in charge at the moment, the winner last year. And yeah, there's a lot of hungry people in that fight, and I'm well and truly looking for it.
Well, I think you had the crowd behind you tonight. Let's hear it for Ryan Gilchrist, Cairns. Way to go. Congratulations on the gold.
Cheers, mate.
There it is. Put it in the books right now. The Crankworx Cairns Pump Track Challenge 2024 is done and dusted. A gold medal for Ryan Gilchrist, a silver for Jace Cunning, and a bronze for Bas van Steenbergen. Of course, in the women's field, it was all about Jordy Scott taking the gold and Caroline Buchanan snagging the silver. Expect to see her get a good night's rest tonight. Wake up early preparing for Slopestyle tomorrow as Ryan Gilchrist soaks up the celebrations out here in Cairns.
Yeah, that was interesting when you asked him about his frame. He also mentioned all the other carbon parts on his bike, so I do not think that that is an accident. I think he knows what he's doing.
He's got a carbon fiber toothbrush, all carbon fiber for Ryan Gilchrist. Everything but the gold. He's got that gold medal. It's the only thing that's not carbon. Well, good times out here on our longest day of the festival, Crankworx Cairns. We had speed and style, we had whip off, and we just finished up pump track, and it's not over yet. We got one more event tomorrow. What do we got for the fans out there, Alan Cook?
We got Slopestyle, and we have a full boat Slopestyle. We got the men, we got the women. The track is looking primo. They've made some changes. It's opening up some options for that final jump. It's gonna go off.
The return of Nikolai Regakin after that injury he suffered here last year. He's back and looking amazing. Emil Johansson looking to add to his tally of 13 Crankworx Slopestyle wins. And will David Godziak stomp that never been done before trick out here in Cairns that he tried just a year ago? Tune in and find out. That's all going down tomorrow morning here in Cairns as we take a peek at our Queen of Crankworx standings, now updated based on these pump track points.
Yeah, Jordy Scott out of the third place position and into second, and only 28 points behind Martha Gill now. And
Hey.
what do we got? We just talked to Ryan Gilchrist. He said he was looking at the King overall and thought he was way behind, but look at what we got right here. He has taken the lead in the overall standings.
Yeah, well, Chihota's not the man in charge anymore, Ryan Gilchrist. You got a 20-point lead. So we're giving away a goal to Ryan Gilchrist, but we're giving away this shirt right now to Johnny G. Way to go, Johnny G. Thanks for joining the conversation in the comment box there of our Red Bull Bike YouTube channel. Hey, guess what? I'm gonna try to throw this shirt all the way to you, Johnny G. All right, landed in the envelope. We're gonna put a stamp on it and send it out to you wherever in the world you are. What a day, Alan Cook. Thanks for being my partner in crime out here. I'm your host, Cam McCall, and I'm gonna wake up early for Slopestyle tomorrow. I hope you do the same. We will see you then. Thanks for tuning in.
Trying to make a climb as the skies get grayer. Driven by the rock to make sport beat stresses. Cause living on the block is like a full court pressure. But here comes the sun. Dropping shots like a ton of weight. Levitate and shake then penetrate the paint. Step like a child cause my style is scorching. I get amazed as I blaze a trail like I was Portland. Yo kid, I got crazy ups. I'm the man among men with the flavor gums. I get exquisite with it when I post up and pivot. I'm raw. Yo, I score and get boards in double digits. You can't maintain when